It's been really interesting meeting half a dozen chief executives of middle-sized but outstanding British companies. They're all doing so well, and they're all characterised by their optimism, by their belief that things are getting better, that they're in growth markets, and also I'd say by their attention to detail and their almost obsessive focus on customers. What growth have you been having, and what are your expectations?
I've been involved for 4 years, and we've grown on average about 25 to 30% each of those years. And our growth is from the UK, but also we've gone from no international business to 30% of all our sales outside the UK in the last 4 years. We try not to adapt actually for international markets. We try to do it with a sort of English eccentricity and a wit and a humour, and it seems to work.
We're seeing a very significant increase in confidence amongst our customers and amongst the advisors that we work with in the marketplace.
We make cookers. Indeed, we've been making things in Britain since 1707, so we've seen quite a few economic cycles. At Arga, we've been working on a lot of new products and innovation, and it's great to see that we, alongside other companies, can really look forward, I think, to a rather better run now that the markets are starting to pick up. And I think it always highlights just how important concentration on R&D, innovation, new product developments can be if you want to achieve growth in the long run.
I think the importance of continually innovating is crucial.
We put a lot into innovation for better quality fillings, and also the British brand we're finding for export is very attractive. And then, R&D, we're constantly innovating. We've got to be looking at what's the next product, and we're using aerospace engineers, and you'd never think that a textiles company might be using that sort of technology, but it's really looking to the future as to how we continue to move forward.
Can I go around the table a bit and ask how confident you are in the recovery we're seeing at the moment?
If you asked me 9 months ago, I'd say no, I'm going to keep the company the same as it is. It's fragile, etc. But now we're looking at expanding our workforce by 8, 9, 10%, and taking on a lot more new machinery. We're really going for it, and I've told all my guys we are absolutely flat out now, unlimited overtime until May 2016.
What we have seen over the last 18 months is the competition increasing, and I guess that talks to the banks generally, A, sorting out their problems, although they've still got some way to go, and B, recognising that there is an economic opportunity for them to play into as well. So.
I would say the big difference is that the confidence has now returned. I don't think we're there, but I think generally across our client base there's an acknowledgement that there's a confidence in terms of investment in business. We're seeing far more clients looking at acquisitions.
We have probably 25% of our order book through 2020 because of long-term production contracts that involve new products and technologies that we've developed. So that gives us a very solid foundation.
The tide has turned in our markets, and then you can just see the switch, and I think Francine, what you're saying about how things shift, the mindset's got to change within the business, because for the last 5 years the ball has been firmly at the feet of the finance team, and the answer is not letting in goals has been the objective. Now the question is, have you got enough strikers? Because I think our shelves would expect us to score a few goals now, win a few home games.
Well, I was delighted to be invited to take part in the discussion today. We're always looking for ways to improve our business, and I think one of the best ways to do that is to meet other successful businesses. There's never been a better time for a UK business to sell itself internationally. The Great British brand is absolutely on a high at the moment.
Well, what you were saying about the British heritage, one additional dimension we're finding in terms of export markets is the whole question of trust in the quality systems that we operate, which seems to have been largely lost in the Chinese domestic markets.
Can I move to the topic of funding and financing growth? How are you finding that?
So I think to some degree what we're seeing at the moment with the quarter-on-quarter reduction in lending to businesses is almost a rebalance of the wrong behaviour in the early 2000s.
Well, I've been involved in private equity for almost 10 years, and one of the upsides is that they do have access to capital, and as long as what you're proposing pay back, there is never any barrier to getting hold of the money we need.
Can I ask, what are the barriers to growth then for any of you? Is it red tape? Is it talent?
We're now suffering from the number that were coming out of the schools, etc. Yeah. So if you're seeing Prime Minister or the Treasurer, please do something away with university funding for guys doing physics or maths, etc. They should get those courses for free, because that's what we want.
You have difficulty if the perception of cutting metal is a dirty business that was done by my grandfather, and yet the levels of automation and technology that are involved and now required, it actually is a very high level of training and skill set.
So, I mean, we're obviously doing a lot to try and transform that. It's again, for the youngsters, we've got to try and make it a little bit more sexy for them to come in or to be trained with the right skill.
I'd like to close by sort of asking you what you'd be telling briefly a kind of young entrepreneur who was setting up any business, if there was a piece of advice.
Generally, I've been involved a lot with the Motorsport Industry Association. Obviously, I've just joined the IOD, so I sort of learn from all those. And my other hobby is I'm the Vice President of Chelsea Football Club, so I look there to see how not to look after your managers.
We go to non-competing firms that might be, 10 years ahead of us with their CSR policies, and so we can learn a lot from them, and hopefully there's something that they gain from us too.
Get involved in panels and things like that where you get to spend time with peers and learn about their experiences and share them.
An awful lot of food for thought. Thank you all so much.